Today's video is on interval notation. So notes to put in your notebook for interval notation. What is interval notation? A method to write ordered pairs. It kind of looks like ordered pairs, but it's going to be about the inequality. It uses parentheses and brackets and the infinity symbol when you're writing it. You're going to use parentheses on both ends when the intervals are open, when they're not equal. You're going to use brackets on both ends when the intervals are closed or equal to a value. And you use the comma between values, just like in the ordered pair. Some examples. Our first example is graph. If you look at this graph, you would identify this graph as being x is greater than 3. It is an open circle, so that would mean that it's not equal to. If we were to write the inequality that goes with that graph, we would have x is greater than 3. So our task really is to write this in interval notation for the same problem. So since our smallest value is 3, we're going to put the 3 on the left. It's going forever in the right direction, so we call that infinity. It is not equal at either end, so we have the parentheses. All three of these methods mean the same answer, and you should be able to move from one answer to the other as you do these kind of problems. Our second example. The graph shows x is less than or equal to -2. It is a closed circle, so that means with our interval notation, we would have a bracket because it's equal to. Since it's going to the left, the smallest value is on the left side, so we call that negative infinity. It's not equal, so that's why it's parenthesis. This same interval notation is this as an inequality. So we have graph, interval notation, inequality, all meaning the same answer. Some additional examples. We have the inequality. -2 is less than x, which is less than 4. Since it's not equal on either end, sometimes drawing a graph can be helpful. So we have the value -2, we have the value 4, and everything is between those two values. So since it's not equal, that would be open circles and shaded between. Our interval is going to show the same thing. It's open, so we use parentheses. The lowest value is -2, the highest value is 4, and it's everything in between. So again, we have the inequality, we have the interval notation, and we have the graph, all to represent the same value. Now, suppose we had a graph for all real numbers. The graph would be a number line that would be shaded completely in both directions. There would be no holes, no breaks, no gaps. So that's negative infinity to positive infinity. In terms of inequalities, we would just write all real numbers. No actual inequalities being used. If we were to write this words in an interval notation, all numbers between and including -1 and 4. Let's again do the graph first, so we can visualize that. -1 to +4, since it is between and including, those would be closed circles and shaded between. So the interval notation would be equal at -1, equal at the 4, and in between. The inequality would be written as -1 less than or equal to x less than or equal to 4. So you have all three techniques for getting answers. Finally, some problems for you to do on your own. There's 2 problems where you only have to write the integral notation. Draw the graphs if you want to help you visualize. You have integral notations that you want to write as inequalities. Again, draw the graph if you want to help visualize. And the last 2 problems are graphs that you want to write in integral notation and as inequalities.